Good day, Lindo. How are you?
Doing well, man. Thank you very much for having me.
Good, man. Just to introduce our guest today on the Bindu Business Podcast, we've got Lindo Mnisi, who's an author. I don't know if I can still call him a journalist, but he's I don't know what they call hardware owners, hardware, and that's it.
Real estate investor as well, yeah?
Yes, it's a lot of things. I mean, you're also, what is this thing called? You're also making clothes. I don't know. Yes.
Industrialist.
Yes, I guess that too. But anyway, man, I think I've given just a brief on who you are, but maybe you can do it better. Who's Lindo Mnisi?
So Lindo Mnisi is a young entrepreneur, a village boy who is now, migrated into a township life. So I'm a businessman, an investor. I own 2 hardware stores right now, and I've got a couple of real estate in terms of properties and rental units. I'm a young man from Mpumalanga in a village called Donald. That's where I grew up. I'm a last born in a family of 3 siblings. I've got 2 big brothers. I've got in terms of family, I've got 2 kids as well. So yeah, I'm just a businessman and a father, brother, son.
Perfect. And when did the business bug bite? When was the first time you actually got into business and you're like, okay, this is what I want to do?
Yeah. I don't think there's a specific time in which I can say I started business because from the young age, I used to sell sweets, biscuits, all the nice things in school. So that's when I started actually selling things. That was probably in primary school. And as I grew up, I decided that, I'm going to go study journalism because I'm very much, I love storytelling. I love, communicating. I love, sharing. So I decided that, I'm going to study journalism and I'm going to work as a journalist. But as I was working as a journalist after completing my studies, I found a gap in terms of entrepreneurship in which I would, start selling things. And I started as an agent for one company. And I think that's when I realized after being an agent of selling things that I do actually have this selling thing. So I think I might just start my own. And from there, after, selling things, I started my own business.
Oh, yes. That was the graduation regalia, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Is there a term to call, is there a specific term for it? The clothes, those graduation clothes that people wear?
No, it's just a graduation regalia. So we had a company called Ipupo Clothing Manufacturers, in which we were manufacturing, graduation regalias. You talk about the gown, the belt, the hat. We had everything. And in the factory as well, we also were manufacturing like traditional clothing. And a couple of, safety wear and all of those minor things, and also tailoring other people's things. So in that factory, at its peak, we actually had about 10 employees that were actually doing the job. And I was 23 years old at the time. That was around 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. That's how long the business actually lasted.
How long?
From 2014, 15, 16, 17. So yeah, 3 to 4 years of it. And in 2017, it encountered a very major.
And what happened there?
Yeah, so there we had a situation where one of the reasons we had to shut down was that the car we were using got crashed. It crashed. And also when it did, it had actually crashed on someone else's car. So we had to now fix the other person's car and then come to fix our own car. But it's a number of challenges that, led to that, including, theft of stock by staff members, staff members selling things on their personal capacity and all of that. And when I realized after the accident actually happened is that we didn't have money in the bank. And it didn't make sense for me that, we're selling, but how do we not have money in the bank? And then that's when I realized that as the company was functioning, people were actually embezzling money on the side. And unfortunately, it also involves family. I had made the biggest mistake in business of hiring family as employees. Yeah.
Okay. And How did that impact you, that whole your company closing down? Because I'm guessing you had invested time and money into this thing, and that was your only way of income actually at that moment.
Time,
at that time,
yeah.
if I'm
I
not-
had left. Yeah, I had left my career as a journalist and started focusing on this business because it was flourishing. I mean, we were having good customers. We were having people that were ordering from all over South Africa, basically some big orders, even with institutions. So it was doing so well. But now it was very impactful. It had a very big impact in me when it died, because I told myself that if you ever see me starting a business again, just hang me. I'm never going to start a business ever again. I've failed. I've suffered a huge knock. I was left when I closed down and sent everyone home. I was on a negative 90,000. I was 90,000 rand in debt, single-handedly, and now I don't have a job. I'm owing 90,000.
You've got one kid as well.
I had a kid at the time,
yes.
and a girlfriend.
Or you were not married yet?
Not married yet at the time. So I was really under pressure, and I was very stressed about everything. So I decided, you know what? I've managed to finish up my qualification. So what I need to do now with this situation, let me dust up my CV and just go back hunting for a job, because I will never start a business ever again. This is so painful. I can't take it.
But that didn't last long. And you know what? The thing is, usually with a lot of people, if they actually go into business and it doesn't work, they would just, like permanently leave it. So why did you come back to business after that?
Yeah, I think one of the advantages or one of the challenges I have in my life is that I always hear voices in my head that speaks about the need for me to help other people, the need for me to empower other people, the fact that I've been brought on this earth for a particular and specific purpose. And so I kept on hearing this thing of saying, I need to start a business. There are lots of people that are struggling in terms of, employment, and I am brought here as the solution to that. That's the voices that I'm hearing. So as I kept on avoiding those voices, and I think I ended up succumbing to it, to say, all right, I'll start a business again. Let's see how we can empower people, how we can help people, how we can bring something different to the world, which I believe is what I'm brought to this earth for. So I actually did, end up starting a business again. We started again, I think, in early 2018, in fact, because 2017, I was lucky to get the job as when I applied for it. In fact, within a week of deciding that, okay, I'm looking for a job now, got a job. And when I got the job, I decided, okay, I'm not starting a business, I'm going to work. So I worked. But in January 2018, I had to succumb to the calling to say, you know what? Let me start something small while I'm still working. So I started an online magazine. So in the industry that I was working in, it's a PR space, it's communications. There are lots of PR practitioners that are always looking for media platforms to put their clients, content. So as a PR person myself, I realized that I was struggling to get, my clients' content published on platforms. So I decided, let me start my own. When I start my own, I'm going to make sure that the people that are working in the space, they are actually having a platform to publish their content. And that's what we did. We started After 12 magazine, and we started pitching to all PR agencies, and they started sending their content to us, and it was helping them. I mean, if you look at the advantages of having your content published, is that your client will love you, will be excited about you, and they will start. You might even get a promotion.
And how many people were getting After 12 magazine, and was it online?
It's online, yeah.
It's online.
So it was pulling great numbers, because our strategy was very clear that we were targeting PR agencies, and in turn, the PR agencies will promote the content, and the clients will also promote the content. So we're pulling numbers in 100,000 in terms of visitors, regular visitors on the site, and all that. So it was really a space that was doing well, and we were also billing in terms of content, to put content into the platform, we bill and whatnot. But also another business that I then started later on was a real estate company now, After 12 properties, registered after 12 properties. The strategy with that was to say, there's an influx of people coming from different townships, from different parts of the world, flocking into the townships. So when I buy my property, I want to buy a property that has a big enough space for me to build rental units outside, so that people can build back rooms, cottages, or apartments. And we started with 2 back rooms, put the 2 back rooms, and we got tenants in. And from there, the tenants obviously were paying rent, and we took the money and we were able to purchase a land, and we built 5 more rental units, and we took the profit of that, and we went and bought another property and subdivided it into unitlets, and then we rented it out, and from there we started growing from strength to strength. Now we're sitting at about 5 properties and about 15 rental units. In terms of that, so that was the real estate, space that I actually ended up entering into. Yeah.
Okay, nice. After 12, I hear this. After 12, where does it come from?
Yeah, so after 12, remember, as I told you earlier, that I suffered a huge knock in which I had to close my business. So all the businesses we had before then were called ipupo. So ipupo means a dream. I've always had a dream. So when we suffered the knock, we suffered a reputational damage, because, as I've mentioned, that as the staff members there were selling the products without my knowledge, some people were making payments and expecting the delivery of the product. So when we shut down, there were people that were owing money that I didn't know about. So reputational damage in terms of the name ipupo, it was immensely. So when I decided to make a comeback, I rebranded everything and I called it After 12, with the context that a brand new day begins just after 12. So it was a brand new beginning for us. It was a brand new start, for us in business. So everything that is going to happen now will be called, under the After 12 umbrella. Yes. So After 12 is just a brand new day begins just after 12.
And did people actually trust you, considering that with what happened with the previous business, or with how things ended and the reputational damage that you mentioned? When you started After 12, did people believe in you or trust you that you would make this happen?
Yeah, so obviously I was very steady in everything that I was doing. I didn't go all out abruptly. Remember, I was still employed. I still had a job. So focus was on my job to make sure that I deliver to the best, of my ability. And I was doing that. I always make sure that whatever I do, whatever venture I get into, it's one I've researched, one I know how to handle and how to maneuver within it. So I was taking it very slow, very not too abruptly. So yeah, obviously there are still challenges. Not necessarily challenges to this day, and we closed the gowns business, for instance, in 2017. To this day, 2022, I'm still getting messages requesting for the product. Hey, I'm graduating on this day, especially now during graduation. At this point, we are still getting orders. People are calling in there because we still use the same number we were using back then. Right now, it's used in the hardware store. So I get the team at the hardware store saying, hey, there's an order for graduation attires. Hey, I just tell them we don't have that business anymore. Yeah. Which is something probably I need to look into again.
Yes,
maybe
definitely.
I wasn't supposed to close it.
Yes, definitely. That's what I'm thinking as well. I mean, you've built a market, and you still have people about 5 years later, they're still calling you. So why not go back to it as well?
Yeah, we'll definitely look into it. Luckily now, I've got a very committed team that, if I can put that proposal on the table, they'll definitely be able to investigate it and give me feedback on whether we should run or not. So I'll definitely put it to the team.
Definitely. And now you've also got, what is this word I was looking for? Oh, yeah. Now there are lessons learned. So you know not to do what you did back then.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So, and I refer to a team. It's a company I've been spoken much about in this podcast. So that's Andura Hardware. Yes. So as soon as we were basically not done, but as soon as we've made, we have created a lot of, rental units. We then decided, because we had a challenge when we were building the rental units, to say how do we get hardware items, DIY tools, and building materials close to the people where they are doing their construction of backrooms. And I decided that as soon as, because that was a challenge, it was far to get the material. You spend a lot of money to get the material to come through. So as soon as I'm done with this project, I'm definitely starting a chain of hardware stores to bring the solution to the township, to bring the convenience in the township where people can get their, stuff close by. They are building materials close by. So we started Andura Hardware in 2020 during the peak of the pandemic. We started Andura Hardware and we got a team in to start operating. And within 7 months of actually running that hardware store, we were able to start our second one. So we've got 2 branches of Andura Hardware right now. So, and a very optimal team, a very high-end, high-level, very, committed, and a team that loves what they do. So yeah, we've got a business that is running now in terms of the hardware store. Obviously, the real estate is also running. The magazine is also still running. So we are managing this umbrella and this group of companies.
After 12,
under the After 12 group of companies. Yeah. So yeah, we've got a very committed team that can actually handle any external venture out of what we currently have.
Why didn't you call it After 12 Hardware?
So one, I didn't want to call it Lindo Hardware or whatever name hardware, or put it closely under the After 12 name. And the reason is, it is a business that the plan was to scale it so well, and it must have a name that is not so usual, a name that people don't usually know. So I wanted to call it something, and it was a voice as well that came to me that says Andura. At the time, I'm South African. I've never heard of the word. I don't know what this word means. I had to wake up the next morning and actually check up on what does this word even mean.
And what does it mean?
So it doesn't have a meaning, but it is a word that, represent 4 things, and which we have now integrated into the values of our company. So 4 things is enthusiasm, versatility, unconventional methods, and agility. And these are the 4 things that we stand by. We're very enthusiastic. The team is very enthusiastic. We're very versatile. We're looking into how to make the industry better. Because the hardware business is not a sexy business to operate. It's not something nice. It's not a batu, a drip, a nice fashion wear. It's a hardware store. Kids don't get excited about a hardware store. People don't get excited about a hardware store, but we're making it very exciting. We're very enthusiastic. We are very versatile in how we do our approach. We've got a 2000 in the business. 2000, that guy is highly energetic. He's bringing something new in the market. He's taking nice videos, editing videos, and taking good pictures. And he's just versatile and very enthusiastic in what he does. We do things the unconventional way. Not the same, the typical how hardwares, do their things, how they do their marketing. We do things a very unconventional way. In the township space, hardware stores, actually, you don't walk in to walk around, and you stand behind the buckler and say what you want. We're changing that. We're bringing hardware stores in the township.
One-on-one.
Where you can walk in, shop like you're shopping at a bigger hardware store. Walk in, have a look around, enjoy the space, so that the impulse buyers as well, we can capture them.
Oh, okay. What impulsive thing would you buy at a hardware?
You can buy, you walk around your house right now and you realize there's firstly, you came to the hardware store to buy a silicone to go and close your sink. There's now a leak in your sink. That's what you came to the hardware for. As you walk into Andura Hardware, or let's make an example, as you walk into another hardware store, township hardware store, you stand behind the backlight at the door, you tell the cashier what you want. They're gonna go and get whatever you ask for and give you. You pay, you leave. When you come to Andura, we say, come in, walk in. They're nice. Our shelves are very beautiful. Everything is just, the scenery is just so amazing. You walk around. You then realize, my cupboard there, the hinge, was not working so well. So I actually need a new hinge. Let me take the silicone, but I'll also take the hinge. What do I need to put the hinge? Oh, I need a screwdriver. Just some DIY. Oh, here's a screwdriver. Now we've made 100 rand out of you, while you came to only give us 50 rand.
Yes.
So
nice.
that is the impulse, buying that we press on. Hopefully our customers love it, because we are also a very friendly team. We allow people to walk in, have a nice chill, look around, what they can see, what they can find. So that's the enthusiasm, the versatility, the unconventional methods, and the agility as well. Agility is very key. We deliver in speed. We serve our customers in speed. You send a request for quotation today, one of the team is going to jump on it. If not one of the team, me personally, I'll jump on it and make sure that we put together your quotation, send it to you. We make sure that we bring convenience in terms of, if you are at work as the landlord, and you've got a team at your house doing plumbing and they run out of copper pipe, you don't have to leave your job in Joburg and come to Midrand to come and buy the thing. Just log into our website, place the order on our website, and then one of our team members will send a driver to go and deliver your things to your construction team. So we're very agile. We're very making sure that we bring convenience, and we do things differently in the hardware space to make it sexy, because it hasn't been sexy for the many years.
Yes. You know what? I've got a question at the back of my mind. I'll just keep it there. But you were you into DIY since the beginning, or is it something that you just got into now? Because I know with the gowns business, you don't even know how to sew, but you're actually in that space. So with the hardware, is it the same thing? Were you a DIY person before this? Because I hear you talk about copper wires, all these things.
Trust me, in all the businesses that I've started, it's mostly things I know nothing about. Things I know, maybe let's say a very little bit about. And that is entrepreneurship. So there's a businessman and there's an entrepreneur. A business person is a person that is operating something that they probably operating it because, one, they are passionate about it, they love it, they know it, they've studied it at school and whatnot. An entrepreneur is an innovator. An entrepreneur is someone that comes up with the ideas, does the research, get the right team to get it done, does the due diligence of how do these things work and get the right team to get it done. With the gowns business, I was working as an agent selling gowns. Someone else was manufacturing. I was the agent selling it to people. But as I realized, as I made more money, because I made a lot of money from those sales. We made a lot of money, and we decided, because I was working with my girlfriend at the time who was still at Varsity, and I would take the product, go place it at her residence at Varsity, and I would go online and just market it and say, if you need it, go to this place. Go
TCE.
At TCE in Soshanguve, campus TUT. So, and then from there, I made a lot of money. We made a lot of money. We decided, we sat down, what do we do with this money? Can we just go buy something nice for ourselves, do something nice for ourselves? But we said, no, man, I think we can do this business ourselves. I mean, what's there? We don't have to focus on the sewing ourselves, but we can sell. So we then decided, okay, we're going to buy sewing machines. We're going to get a team to come and do this thing. We got a team. A team came through. We hired them. We rented a double garage in the township. Double garage where they would manufacture these things. They manufactured these things. Got the team, right team, manufacture. All we do is to come and collect the thing and go sell it. And that made a lot of money. We grew from the 2 staff members to 10 staff members. They were sewing a lot of these things, manufacturing. So I didn't have to know how to actually sew. If you have the right people to do it, it gets done. Same with, the only thing that maybe I may have had, I still have good knowledge and whatnot about is the magazine. I'm a journalist by profession. I have also worked in the PR space. So I know how the PR space works and how journalism works. So I matched the two and it worked out very well. And then, the real estate, I knew nothing about real estate. I just knew that it's a great investment. So I need to put in into the real estate space, need to be in that industry because I love helping people, bringing convenience to the people. And we did exactly that, rolling out, affordable accommodation for low income earners in the townships. And then the hardware, also something I know nothing about. I'm not a very DIY tool person. I'm not a hands-on person, but I knew that I'm a business person. I'm an entrepreneur, someone who can think it, research it, get it done, get the right team in the space and get it done. So that's also one tip about business that I would give to entrepreneurs as well. You don't have to know the ins and outs of the thing. You can always get someone who knows the ins and outs of everything. Yours is to be the visionary, the one that empowers the people that are
the leader.
The leader, lead the thing and give good insights. Do your research so that when you meet with the team on when you have a weekly meeting with them or whatever, give them something that you've done your research, you actually know the industry you're operating in. So I very much love the hardware space, and it may not be the only industry that I'm going to tap into. As I've mentioned, that I don't go to a business because I studied it or I have a qualification. I go into it because I've identified the market, I've identified the gap, and I'm building the market into that. And is it viable? Can it work? Can I get the right team to run it? If you say yes to all those things, do it.
So you had an idea to start a hardware.
Yes.
Then what's the next step? Because this actually, let me tell you what happened. So yesterday I'm talking to someone on WhatsApp and they're telling me they've got business ideas. They've got all these ideas that they have in their mind to make more income on the side and all that. But they are not starting anything. So I'm listening to you now telling me that you had an idea to start a hardware. And this was only because you wanted
bring convenience in
inconvenience for your other business after 12 properties.
Yes.
So just an idea like that, and you were able to start it. So what would you tell someone who has an idea to start something? Maybe they don't even have any knowledge about it, but what are the steps? What's your guideline on actually how to get it done?
Yeah. So the first part obviously is to get it done. That's the first part. The first part is when you want to do something, don't spend a lot of time doing the research. Spend time working towards it. So if you don't start, firstly, you don't start a business, or you don't come up with an idea and immediately you're looking for funding. I think that's it's not your business. It's someone else's business that you want someone to fund your dream. Fund it yourself first. And how do you fund it yourself? With time. Give it time. Give it the attention it deserves. Start knocking on the right doors for the thing. Before you can start knocking on the financial doors or the external doors of whatever else you need to grow the business. Come up with the idea. Work towards it. If it's a hardware store, you don't have to open a massive hardware store with 300,000 Rand worth of products. Start with the 2,000 Rand products, the 2,000 Rand that you have right now. What can I buy for 2,000 Rand that I can sell and get profit to buy something worth 3,000 Rand that I can sell to buy something worth 4,000 Rand? So the challenge that people may have is that they don't want to start small. And starting small is the recipe to success. Start small so that you can understand the ins and outs of this thing that you are building. If you know it from the very low level to the next step, to the next step, to the next step, you'll know how to grow this thing. And that is how we started our first business, our first hardware store. Firstly, all the business, basically, the gowns business, that's how we started. We started with 2 employees and we started with probably 1 roll of the gowns material. And some of small. They got that one done. We went and sold it, bought more material, brought it to the team. They sew. And that's how we grew to about 10 employees. The same with the hardware business. We started small, buy material that we know are fast selling in the township. Get it moving. The plumbing stuff, the smaller
Paint.
Moving, get the paint, get it moving, because that is gonna bring the revenue, bring the profit, take the profit, reinvest. Within 7 months, we had opened another hardware store, and right now we're working on opening another further 2 stores. By very soon.
Are they under you, or are you franchising the other hardwares?
Yeah, so they're still under us. They're still gonna be built and operated by us. We do have a franchise agreement. All we're waiting for now is people to come through and say we want to franchise the Andura into Tsanin, franchise into Pulukwane, into Malelane, into Free State. We're waiting for people to start coming through to make those proposals, but we have a franchise agreement and the whole structure ready for people.
Just thinking about that, are you not scared that I'm going to come and say I want to franchise your hardware, and the way because there's always that a bit of a risk, then I go out there and there's no agility. People ask me, people send a quote and they get an answer after 5 days, or they don't get it. Are you not scared of that?
Yeah. Obviously, that's why right now what we are doing is to focus on doing these things ourselves. We are very intentional on that. I can tell you now, we even decided that we're not going to be looking even for funding or whatever. We are going to build this thing ourselves so that we can see how it works. If it works, what are the ins and outs of everything? What do we need to do? What is it about this thing? So we're doing it ourselves to get ourselves ready for when we start scaling up to other parts. So we are still operating within the mid-range areas right now, nowhere else. And that is very intentional as well. So that as we scale up, we start scaling outside of the the Midrand township, in Midrand Tembisa areas, and we go probably Soweto, we go Boksburg, we go around the same vicinity, so that we are able to go visit them, go check them out, go give training to everyone before we can scale up out of the province. As soon as we've mastered and cemented our name in the Gauteng region, we then will be ready to start moving into other provinces and even out of the country as well. So on to that question, not so much scared, because we know that we are not rushing the process. We're taking steps, step by step, to make sure that we cement this thing, because we're not about to close anytime soon. Soon. The big hardware stores that today, that are ringing in your head right now, they're probably on their 20, 30 years old. I mean, we're only reaching our second year. We're about to reach our second year. We're not in a hurry. We're not looking into, boom, now we're millionaires, or now the business is a household name.
It's a long-term goal.
It's a long-term. We're looking at 100 years on this thing. So we're taking very cautious steps, step by step, and people must just look out for the name Andura.
Okay.
It's going to be very exciting for the future.
Okay, perfect. And this is just about business, right? If you were actually not available, let's just say you got sick, God forbid, for the next 2 weeks or so, would the business still function without you at the moment?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you asked that question. That's a brilliant question. So I've been getting a lot of that. So I watch a lot of, motivational videos. I'm very motivational, and it's because I watch a lot of those. And I got, challenged when I was watching it, to say, would your business survive if you took a vacation for 2 weeks? And I decided, you know what? I'm taking it.
Yeah,
I'm taking it. I'm not even telling the team what's going on, how to do whatever. I'm not even going to micromanage everyone. Let me just leave and go have a vacation. Left, went on a holiday, went on a vacation, just chill. And I chilled for over 2 weeks. Things were running.
You were not checking your phone.
No, obviously the phone, it will clock in, because the money clocks in, because our systems are very integrated. Everything they do in the shops, I can see it wherever I am. I can just pull up a laptop or on my phone, check transactions that are happening right now as we speak, check how things are moving, what is running out on stock, who is the supplier of this item, when is the supplier going to deliver, and all that. I can check, but I'm not doing it. They are doing it. Everything about the business, the value of stock, when you buy something, there's on the system, it minuses. Wherever I'm sitting, I'm seeing that, something just minused. So now the value of stock is now this and this. Everything is run online. So everything it's done differently than, the township businesses. So I don't have to worry. I don't have to be there in the hardware. They know when things run out. They know who the suppliers are. They contact the supplier to come deliver. They know when we've got cash in store, because some people buy in cash. Some people pay, obviously, they swipe and whatnot. What they need to do when there's a lot of cash in the store. They know how to handle that. So really, I can take a vacation. I've done it, I think 3 times now, like longer vacations out of the business. And it runs optimally and so successfully. So I don't have to be there. I can take vacation.
That's nice, because I'm just thinking most of the businesses without, let's just say I start a business, without me being there hands-on, let's just make a quarter business, for example.
Yes.
Without me being there, making sure that the potatoes are there, the oil is there, things don't work.
Things don't run. So it's the same. So, and you're looking at a smaller scale, a doctor's surgery, where they have their own GP surgery space. The doctor is probably self-employed. He has his own surgery, but he's self-employed. If he's not there giving people the injections, giving people the prescriptions, doing the actual thing, the assistant doctor at the reception can't do anything, can't help the patients. So the doctor is not an entrepreneur. The doctor that does that cannot scale up and go open another branch in Soweto, open another branch in Malelane, open another branch in Polokwane, wherever. The doctor can't, because he's self-employed. I am not self-employed. I am an entrepreneur. I come with a vision, I get the right team in place, and the team get it done. So a quarter business, obviously, if you are self-employed and you are hustling, basically. You're hustling. As soon as you've made the quarter, you sell it, and as soon as you close down, you are the business. I am not the business. We've got a very good team, and I respect them so much. I respect them so well. They're running the thing without my involvement. And I'm just there to give the guidance, give the leadership, make sure that we agree on things that need to be done, and all that. But I'm the entrepreneur and I'm the visionary, and I'm just giving them, the marching orders on how to run with the things. But the managers are fully, involved in to take this thing forward.
And what kind of advice would you give to small businesses in the township that actually want to scale up and expand? Maybe they want to move from being self-employed to being, to being able to actually open other franchises like you are saying at the moment. So what type of advice would you give me? Let's use the quarter example again. Okay. So I want to actually open another quarter place in somewhere in Tembisa now, but the other one is in Soweto. So I'm just using this as an example. But what type of advice would you give someone who actually wants to expand in business in the township?
Yeah. So when you start a business, try to move away from creating a job for yourself, especially if your dream and your vision is to scale. Don't have the mentality that you are creating a job for yourself. Have the mentality that you are creating jobs for others, so that you can get enough time to go and, build more, to go and come up with more ideas. Because if I'm at Andura Hardware every day I'm working on Andura things and whatnot, and I'm self-employed, I'm there, I'm working. Where do I get the time to think about other ventures that supports this particular business? Where do I get the time to think with other businesses or other opportunities that are in line with the business and in line with the vision that you are on? So start a business that you are the visionary, but you will get the right team to do it. So the person that's going to do the quarters, you must get the right people to do your quarters. Get the right people. When you start the business, make sure, if it has to be someone that doesn't get a salary, let it be you. Get someone who can get the salary and get someone who can get this thing done. I really would advise that someone starts a business, that the initial thought is to scale it and open other branches so that it's not self-employment.
Okay, perfect. You know what, Lindo, we're actually going to do a part 2 of this. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to come to the Andura Hardware. I'm going to come to After 12 Properties just to show our subscribers here, our viewers, your whole setup, if that's okay with you, because we haven't discussed this before. So would that be okay with you?
No, absolutely. I can take you through. I mean, the hardware stores, you can come at any time. You choose a branch that you want to visit and we get it done. We definitely would love to, have people of your caliber, because Bindu, the podcast and what you do, we're actually excited about what you guys do. And we're looking forward to having our hardwares and our products in the Bindu app, actually.
Yes.
We're looking forward to partnering with you and making sure that we scale up our presence and we put ourselves in platforms like the Bindu app. And also have you visiting us. I think that would be great. And we can take you through some of our properties that we have, just have a drive through and see. Because, there are tenants that are already living in there. If they are not comfortable having us visiting, because I'm not the type, that, just always there.
No, it's fine. We can give them space, but the hardware, it's fine. We can check the hardware.
Yeah, but you can visit any of our, spaces at any time, and we would be really honored to have you.
Thank you, Lindo, for coming on the Bindu Business Podcast. If you are watching this, please just hit the subscribe button there so we can actually keep on giving you more content like this. And until next time, thanks a lot for coming.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.